two big names in e-signatures, but only one can truly streamline your workflow. Which one really delivers? On the left, Adobe Sign enterprise-powered signatures with deep Adobe integration. On the right, SignEasy, fast, friendly, and affordable e-signing for everyone. Let's skip the marketing jargon and dig into the real-world experience. Each category earns points, and at the end, you'll see exactly who comes out on top. The final winner might just surprise you. So here's our mind map for today. We're gonna compare these two on pricing, user experience, security and compliance, integrations, mobility, support and service, and user sentiment. Basically, if you're trying to choose the right tool, these are the things you should care about. Ready? Let's jump in. First up, pricing. Okay, with Adobe Sign, you're looking at a higher base price. It does come bundled with PDF editing tools and the whole Adobe suite thing, but honestly, that gets expensive when you start wanting more features. So it's like, great if you're deep in Adobe land, but not so cheap overall. Now, switch to SignEasy. This is where things get interesting. The essential plan starts at just $10 per user per month. The pricing is super straightforward, and honestly, it's a steal for small businesses or solo users. The catch, you don't get those fancy bundled PDF editors, but if you just want to sign and go, this is way more budget-friendly. So for pricing, I gotta give it to SignEasy. Next up, user experience. Adobe Sign feels familiar if you're already using Adobe stuff, but there's a pretty steep learning curve, and the interface, it's a bit complex, let's be real. You might need a minute or a few to figure everything out. Flip over to SignEasy though, and you'll see why people rave about its simplicity. Super intuitive, minimal onboarding, and you don't have to be a tech wizard to figure it out. Sure, there are some rare glitches, but overall, it's designed for regular people, not just power users. I'm honestly impressed, so here, SignEasy takes the win again. Okay, let's talk security and compliance, because no one wants their signature floating around in sketchy places. Adobe Sign is beefy here, enterprise-grade compliance and all the acronyms like HIPAA, ESIGN, EIDAS. You get that big brand reputation backing it up. But here's the thing, SignEasy matches up. They've got HIPAA, EIDAS, and ESIGN as well, plus secure cloud architecture. So whether you go Adobe or SignEasy, you're covered. Security, I'd say it's a tie. Oh, and here's something cool. Did you know that e-signatures have been legally recognized in over 180 countries since 2000? Thank the ESIGN Act for that one. Kinda wild how much business has changed since then, right? Now, integrations. Adobe Sign absolutely cranks here if you live in the Adobe ecosystem. It syncs with Acrobat, Creative Cloud, you name it, and they have some pretty advanced API and workflow tools. But honestly, most of the really cool stuff is locked behind higher-tier plans. Step over to SignEasy, it's got the basics: Google Workspace, Dropbox, Box, solid options, but not nearly as deep or fancy. If you need enterprise-grade automations or you're already living in Adobe, Adobe Sign pulls ahead here. On to mobility. Both work on all the big platforms and browsers, but Adobe Sign's mobile experience, it's good but not amazing. The UI can be a little clunky on phones, you know. Now, SignEasy, this is where they shine. People love the mobile app, especially if you're running around, signing from the field or remote. Honestly, if mobility is your thing, SignEasy just feels smoother. Support and service time. Adobe Sign offers that big corporate help desk, which is great for, like, massive teams, but if you're a smaller business or you need help fast, it can definitely feel a bit slow and not as focused. Now, SignEasy support gets a 10 out of 10 from pretty much everyone. Super responsive, flexible, especially when you're onboarding. So yeah, SignEasy is the clear winner here. Let's wrap with user sentiment. Adobe Sign has a solid reputation, about 92% positive from hundreds and hundreds of reviews. But and this is interesting, their likelihood to recommend trails behind SignEasy a bit. Looking at SignEasy, it's a user favorite, like 94% positive, loads of high recommendations, and especially loved by small businesses. So when it comes to pure user love, SignEasy nabs this category too. Okay, let's zoom out. If you throw all the scores on a radar chart, you'll see SignEasy actually outruns Adobe Sign in most categories, especially the ones that matter for day-to-day users. Adobe Sign holds its own in areas like enterprise integrations and high-tier compliance, but for everything else, SignEasy just keeps scoring. Bottom line, if you're an enterprise user or someone locked into that Adobe workflow, Adobe Sign makes a ton of sense. But for individuals or small businesses looking for something fast, friendly, and easier on the wallet, SignEasy is just plain easier to love. That's my take. If this comparison helped you out, why not bookmark it for your next contract decision? And hey, stick around, there's plenty more side-by-side reviews coming up.